What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrubby here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I've got a story time I know you guys are going to like. It involves a dad going ballistic at a parent-teacher conference and fighting the teacher because apparently him not wanting to assign homework is like lazy and he hates the students or something. I don't know. All I know is dad went crazy. I knew it would be a video that you guys would enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So like I said, this story time was sent in to me, and this particular person had to go to like one of the parent-teacher after-school things that they do at the start of the year. They're not in school anymore. This was a while ago, but basically your mom, your dad, whoever's gonna go with you, you just go to all of your classes for 15 minutes. They meet the teacher, do a little explanation of this is what the class is, this is what we're gonna do, all that stuff. The parents go, wow, your teacher seems so nice. You go on your way. It's pretty boring for the most part because, it's just parents asking questions about schooling and you're just sitting there awkwardly, but whatever. He was at this parent-teacher conference demonstration, get to know them thing with his mom, and most of the teachers were being pretty lame, but there was one teacher that he was excited about to have for the year. He was like a young teacher, fresh out of college, and was pretty cool compared to most teachers. I feel like teaching is one of those things, if somebody's new to teaching, they still got the love for it, They're like, oh man, I'm gonna make teaching awesome. By year 30, they're like, all right, as long as you guys don't die for the next 45 minutes, I'm gonna put my head down and take a little nap. But this teacher was pretty cool. He had just gotten out of college. He played video games, so a lot of the kids liked him, and he was excited for his mom to see how the class worked. So whatever, they get into that classroom, and the teacher makes a joke at the beginning of his little presentation, and most of the parents laughed. But there was one dad sitting like 2 rows away that made an audible like, ugh, sound when the guy made a joke. Which, hey, maybe it wasn't his sense of humor. That's fair. He's like, oh, I didn't think that joke was very funny. But there's no reason to make an audible noise if you don't like somebody's joke. Imagine that, some guy's just about to do a presentation in front of like 70 strangers. All right, guys, I've never done this before. Oh, get off the stage! It's not a stage, I'm just a teacher trying to do a presentation. I don't care, get off of it. But for whatever reason, the dad just seemed incredibly upset that this teacher had dared to try to make a joke, but the teacher doesn't really notice and starts talking about his class, which is what he's supposed to do. He was a government teacher, and he's talking about how, like, he wants kids to learn about the government and how it works, because one day they're gonna run it, blah, 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 all that teacher stuff that they say. And then he gets to a point where he says, one thing that I do a little bit differently than other teachers at this school is I don't give out homework, which is a pretty cool thing to do. I feel like most teachers that I had when I was in school didn't really have that mindset. It was more like, how do I give as much homework as humanly possible? I want you to be thinking about my class 9 hours a day, so I'm gonna make sure that I give you enough work to do 12 hours of homework just to get a little bit of extra out of you. But if you have 6 classes giving you 12 hours of homework, you're pretty screwed. I don't know, my teachers were big fans of homework, but this particular teacher didn't like it, and he was telling the parents that he didn't believe in homework because he had hated it when he was in school and it had made him a lot less passionate about the subjects, and he didn't want that to happen with his class. Plus, he knew that a lot of other teachers were homework heavy, so by not giving them homework, it gave them more time to focus on other classes, and he felt like the time he had during the class was enough to teach people about the government. And that's a very cool thing to do. Like, honestly, that's a pretty cool teacher move. Be like, all right, I can teach you guys proficiently in the hour they give me. I don't have to give a ton of homework. It's better for the kids. The other teachers are still going to give a lot of homework. You're going to get respect from the students because they're going to be like, this guy's making my life easier at least. And most of the parents were cool with it. A couple of them were like, oh, that's really awesome. That's cool of you. But the dad that didn't like the joke at the beginning of the parent-teacher conference apparently really hated the fact that his daughter wasn't going to be getting flooded with homework. You mean I'm gonna have to spend time with the kid? It won't be doing homework every day for hours on end? What the heck? I'm not alright with this. That's not what he said, but the dad raised his hand, which is hilarious. I don't know why it's always so funny to me when an adult raises their hand, but it's just a funny sight. That was the polite thing to do. I guess you should raise your hand, but imagine just like a 50-year-old man raising his hand waiting for permission to speak. I don't know why why it's just kind of a funny image. And the teacher asks him, okay, what's up? And he starts to ask why he doesn't do homework. And so the teacher just kind of re-explains what he had already explained about, well, when I was in school, I really hated homework. It would make me not like the classes as much. I don't want them to do that with my class, so I don't give homework. And it was like that answer just did not compute in this dad's brain, because he's like, okay, but don't they need to do homework to learn the stuff? And the teacher is like, no, they don't. I learned plenty of things and I didn't always do my homework, so I just don't believe it's necessary. And even if, for whatever reason, you're a parent out there and you're super pro homework, you just love the idea of your kid getting a bunch of extra work at the end of the day, that's a pretty fair reasoning. Is like, I don't think my class needs it, they get enough, and I don't want them to hate my class. You might not agree, but it's pretty fair. But this dad starts to be like, oh, are you sure that's why you don't assign them homework? And the teacher's obviously confused because that's what he said. So what do you mean? Am I sure that that's why I'm not assigning homework? And the dad basically accuses the teacher of being a young idiot who doesn't know what he's doing, who was only not assigning homework so he would have less stuff to grade. Which, even if that is the case, bro, the kids don't care. I promise you, every single student in that classroom was very okay with the idea of not getting homework, even if it was because he didn't want to grade it. But the teacher is getting defensive because no teacher would like to be told that they're lazy and don't want to do something, and he's like, I have nothing against grading homework. Trust me, I have a lot of things to grade. They do a lot in class. I just don't think that I need to send home extra work, and I don't understand why that upsets you. And a couple of the other parents in attendance kind of come to the teacher's aid. They're not overtly attacking the dad that's all pissed off, but they start talking to the dad about, think about the kids. They're getting so much homework from these other classes. I think it's a nice idea that he gives them a class where they don't have to worry about it as long as they're learning about the government. And even a couple of the students that were there with their parents are like, honestly, this class is the one that I learn the most in because I look forward to it, so I pay attention. All the classes that flood me with homework, I just don't really want to be there, so I'm not paying total attention. So everyone's kind of defending the teacher. And the dad at that point thought that, oh man, everyone's against me, because he starts saying that, like, I don't know why everyone in this classroom is ganging up on me. Did you guys have a meeting or something before this that if anyone tried to attack the teacher, you would defend him? Yeah, bro, everybody at this parent-teacher conference had a meeting last night and said, specifically when this dude shows up, he's gonna get pissed off. So let's just really defend the teacher. Everybody's got that much free time on their hands. I don't know why anyone would think it's that important, dude. Like, this parent-teacher conference itself isn't that important, let alone trying to, organize a protest to defend the teacher for not giving homework. No one did that. And obviously the other parents that are getting accused of colluding with the teacher kind of reject the idea and tell him he's being ridiculous. And at that point, the teacher is just over it and tells the dad that he should probably just leave because he's not going to like the rest of the speech and he doesn't really feel like it's comfortable for anyone else. And the dad is like, oh, you're telling me to leave right now? This is my daughter's class. You have no right to tell me that I can't stay here. And the teacher tells him, well, you say you hate the way I teach. You say hate the way that I'm doing everything. So I don't know why you would want to stay. I'm letting you know that if you stay, you're going to hate the way that I teach my class and you're not going to like any of this. So you should just leave. And at that point, the dad stands up out of the desk, which, once again, probably a very funny sight, just a grown-up sitting in a school desk standing up. And he starts walking up to the teacher. And the teacher says, don't come up to me, stay away from me. And the dad's having none of it. He's seeing red, and he's like, you're gonna disrespect me in front of all these people. I'm not gonna take it. I don't know who you think you are. And he's getting closer to the teacher. And the teacher does the thing where you put your hands up, not all the way, but kind of by your shoulders. The whole, hey, I'm not a threat thing. Please don't come at me. I don't want any trouble. I feel like that's the universal kind of symbol for that. The hands kind of up. And the dad keeps coming at him. So the guy's hands are up. It's not like he's in a position to fight him. But the dad screams out, are you trying to hit me? And then swings on the teacher. And I think personally, obviously I'm not the dad that hit him, so I don't know for sure, that he said that to try to convince people that the guy was going to swing on him first, so it was self-defense. Only problem is everybody is watching, and he hits the teacher, and he does connect, it hits him. But you would think that if you're going to get up out of the desk, storm up to the teacher, and hit them, you would know what you're doing, dude. Like, you should never hit the teacher. I don't advocate for violence. I don't advocate for hitting the teacher. But if you're gonna go ahead and attack someone in front of a bunch of people, you should know how to punch. You might as well make it like what you think's gonna happen in your head. Well, this dude storms up to the teacher, hits him, does connect on his face, and the teacher just doesn't even like, ow. He just kind of is standing there, and he goes, "Sir, did you just hit me?" Which has to be one of the most ego-draining things somebody could say after you hit them in the face. Like, imagine you are so pissed off, you're angry. That's it, I'm gonna hit you. You punch someone in the face as hard as you can, all your might. You are trying to do a Dragon Ball Z anime arc level punch, and you hit the person in the face. Wapow! Power of 1,000 suns! And they just look at you and go, "Did you just hit me?" My goodness, that would have to suck the wind out of your sails. It would suck the wind out of your soul at that point. Nothing would make you weaker than a situation like that, dude. Like, feel weaker. Yeah! Oh, wow. That kind of tickled. But the dad doesn't keep swinging. He doesn't keep hitting him. And a bunch of other parents at that point get up and separate them. And everyone's yelling at him like, "Why did you hit the teacher? What's wrong with you?" And now he's getting mad at everyone because, I don't know, he thought everyone was going to be on his side. Pretty stupid idea. Okay, here's my plan. I'm going to punch the teacher that just said he's not going to assign homework so that way the kids have more free time. And everyone's going to be like, "Yeah, that's what we wanted. Knock him out. In fact, that's not enough. Keep punching him. Go, go, go." No one was gonna be on your side, bro. I don't think anyone's gonna see you just punch some poor dude in the face and be like, "Oh, that guy's cool. I love when people just start hitting others." And either way, once the dads have them split apart and they're holding him back, he hadn't swung on the teacher again, but now that he's being held back, he starts going all tough guy drama mode. "Oh, you're lucky that they're holding me back right now. I want to keep fighting you, but they're holding me back, and you're so lucky that they're holding me back." And it seems like he's struggling against the people that are holding him back, but it's obvious to everyone watching that he's struggling just enough to look like he's struggling, but not enough to actually break free, trying to save his own ego. At that point, everyone in the room already hates you. You're just pretending like you're gonna go beat him up to try to save whatever ego you have left in your brain. The teacher, though, doesn't let it get to him. You know, he's not like, "Oh my gosh, I just got hit." If anything, he's so calm that it starts to mess with the dad a little bit, because while he's screaming out that, like, they should let him go so he can fight him again, he gets a lot quieter when he realizes that the guy's not intimidated at all. He's not afraid. He's not like, "Keep him away from me." Probably because the punch was so weak. As I said, the teacher asked him, "Did you just hit me?" I don't know if it was out of shock or because he genuinely wasn't sure. But what, even if they do let you go, you're gonna run over to him and, like, gently tap him on the face with your knuckles? I don't think he would be afraid of that. And the teacher is so calm that he just walks over to the desk, picks up the phone, calls the administration, and says, "Yeah, we have an incident. One of the parents just hit me in the face." "Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. Please send someone." Which on the other end was probably really confusing. They're just chilling in the office. I love the parent-teacher conference day. Nothing really happens. All the parents are here, so everyone's on their best behavior. There's gonna be no fights because it would be absurd for a parent to get and fight while just meeting the teacher. Ring, ring. Oh, hello? Someone punched you in the face? Really? Are you messing with me? I'll be right there. Either that or they were hyped to go. They were like, "Oh man, nothing's happened all day. Sweet, we get to go arrest somebody's dad." And as soon as the teacher calls the office and lets the guy know that people are coming down to deal with the situation, he stops struggling against the people holding him back to, like, go fight the teacher. And instead, he starts struggling against them to just get out of the door. It was like a little kid who's acting all bad when they think no one's around and then they find out that someone's gonna tell their mom. And they just start doing anything they can to get away. Like, "Please don't tell my mom." That's basically what's going on. He's trying to get away and he's yelling out Full-grown man who just punched a teacher. I don't want to see the principal. I don't want to see the principal. You should have thought about that before you punched the teacher in the face. You want to know a guaranteed way to not have to deal with the principal? Don't hit the teacher. I know, crazy. And while all this is going on, it's even more embarrassing because his daughter is just standing there yelling at him, asking why he has to embarrass her everywhere they go and why he couldn't just keep it together for one day. Which I do feel bad for her, dude. Imagine this being your parent. Everywhere you go, he tries to fight someone. You're like, okay, you can come to my parent-teacher conference. Just please do not fight my teacher. Can you at least promise me that, Dad? Like you won't fight my teacher? Yeah, sure, no problem. He punches the teacher every time. We go to Wendy's. You hit the drive-thru worker. We go to Lowe's. You start knocking out the guy mixing paint. Remember the one time we tried to ride the bus and then you caused an accident because you put the driver in a chokehold? You can't do this everywhere we go. But the dad's struggling. He finally gets out of the hold of the people though, and he runs out the door before the principal can get there, and they see him run out of the end of the hallway, which is these double doors that lead to the parking lot. So they're aware that he's going to leave, but he left behind his kid, bro. Pretty important thing. So the daughter's standing there and she's like, my dad left. And one of the other parents is like, okay, well, we can give you a ride home. And she's like, okay, thank you. And obviously everybody's like, this was absurd. He literally ran away so fast that he made such a quick getaway he forgot the kid. Pretty important thing to forget. And everybody was asking the teacher if he was okay. And the teacher finally started talking about it and was like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't know what that guy's problem was, though. I didn't realize that not giving homework was so unpopular. And all the parents kind of laughed a little bit and they were like, no, please don't. Like, it's okay. We don't agree with him. We don't know why he did that. Even if he disagreed with you, it's not okay to hit you, which is my opinion. I guess technically you're allowed to love homework. It's your right. As an American, you can believe what you want. You can be super pro homework. Get a bumper sticker that says, I love homework. Get a flag. Fly it above your house 90 feet in the air saying, homework, homework. I don't care. But there's no reason to punch someone in the face for disagreeing on something like that, dude. Like, that's such a stupid thing. Imagine. What do you like better, construction paper or notebook paper? And you answer whatever you answer and the person just starts hitting you in the face because you disagreed. That's how stupid this entire situation was. Either way, the principal finally gets to the class and asks what happened, and a bunch of parents give statements, say what happened. They make sure the teacher's okay. And then they just turn to the daughter who was left behind and they ask for her dad's name. And of course she gives it over. So they're like, all right, we're going to go to the office. We'll take care of it. Blah, 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 blah. Hope everything's okay. And around that time, it was time for them to move on to the next classroom. So the daughter, who had been left by the dad at the school, does go with her friend and her friend's mom to her class, and then they're going to take her home. So she's not like stuck at the school. She's not going to be abandoned. But still, he really left the kid. He said, look, I'm going to punch the teacher, and then I'm going to make my getaway. And as a diversion, I'll just leave my kid behind. They'll never be able to chase me while dealing with that at the same time. Either way, the day ends. People start talking about it. The tale of the dad who punched the teacher in the face. It was kind of all the talk of the school, but whatever. The person who sent this to me on the next school day goes into class where the teacher had been punched in the face, and on his desk is the biggest edible arrangement he has ever seen, bro. It was like they basically took an entire fruit farm, stuck it in a basket, and sent it over, and there was a huge card on the top that said, I'm sorry. And so everybody sits down for class, and the teacher gets up to start teaching, but before he starts teaching, he's like, hey, do you guys like my edible arrangement? And they all start laughing. They're like, yeah, I've never seen a bigger edible arrangement. That's so funny. Who is it from? Like, what is it for? Why is it an apology? And the teacher just smiles and he goes, oh, it's from my biggest fan, the guy who punched me in the face. Bro, this dad had gone to the parent-teacher conference, gotten so mad about homework that he needed to punch the teacher, goes through with it, hits the teacher, runs away before the principal gets there, leaves his kid behind, and then decides, I know just the thing that'll make this right. At that point, I feel like the only way you can make it right is like never never show up to the school again, or change schools. Those are really your two options. But in his mind, he says, everyone will just forgive me as long as I send a really big edible arrangement. You know, you can punch anyone in the face as long as you send an apology watermelon right after. The class had to laugh at it though, because you kind of have to just like roll your eyes at someone that's that stupid. I'm sorry for punching you in the face, but I got you an edible arrangement. Either way, I'm sure it was a pretty interesting year for the teacher, just because every time he got an email from that parent, he was like, oh yeah, remember when you punched me in the face? I don't know, I would just recommend avoiding punching people in the face, especially if it's just a teacher doing their job, and especially if it's just a teacher doing their job by not assigning homework. Don't go out of your way to punch them in the face, I just don't get it. Anyways, guys, I do think that'll do it for the video, though. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. If you enjoyed the video and got this far, if you could go ahead and comment the word knockout down below, I would appreciate it. Helps the video do better. And if you're new, you should subscribe and turn on those notifications, because I post videos like this every single day and you don't want to miss out. Other than that, if you like the videos and want to listen offline without gameplay, whatever floats your boat, I do post the audio over on Spotify. Feel free to go check it out. And I made a new playlist here on YouTube, so if you guys are doing your chores, need something to listen to while you're gaming, whatever it is, feel free to check that out. Both those links can be found in the description. And yeah, on that note, guys, I think that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm out. Peace.